Hello, hello et bienvenue à toutes celles et ceux qui écoutent Rinse ici, Mathilde Raynal au micro et enfin remise de ma dernière escapade festival pour Rinse. Un petit peu en retard aussi avec ça, il est 12h08, attention, petit problème de transport, vive la ligne 9, on s'est absolument régalé ce matin. Voilà, dernière escapade pour Rinse, c'était le Sónar Lisboa qui se tenait à la mi-avril au Portugal. On y était en team avec ma fidèle Léa qui est avec moi aujourd'hui pour le débrief. Comment ça va ?
Bah ça va super, il fait tellement beau aujourd'hui et je sens que ça y est, l'été peut démarrer enfin.
L'été peut démarrer, mais nous on a déjà eu un petit avant-goût, hein, on va pas se mentir.
Ouais, c'est pour ça qu'on est là. Hein.
Bien remise de ce Sónar ou quoi ?
Bah ouais, tranquillement, j'ai pu bien me remettre en enchaînant les week-ends de fiesta, donc je reste dans le mood et ça a lancé ma saison en fait.
Toujours solide sur les appuis.
Ça bouge pas, ça bouge
Léa,
pas.
Pour Rinse, tu connais. Nous voilà alors toutes les deux à l'antenne cet après-midi pour le débrief officiel des festivités du Sónar au menu. Donc des 2 prochaines heures, un petit peu moins, vous avez compris parce que j'étais en retard, hein, quelques tunnels quand même, puisqu'on va réécouter du coup toutes les interviews que j'ai fait sur place, soit 6 talents absolument merveilleux, certains qui représentaient la scène locale, d'autres qui ont traversé le monde pour cette édition. Vous allez voir. Alors je vais vous présenter King Camille et Joao Parente d'abord, puis la team Gabber Eleganza, ça c'était pour Lélé, tu connais. L'américain Nick Leon, mais aussi The Blaze, notre fierté nationale, il en fait un petit peu. Un Lisboète qui s'appelle Pedro Da Linha, et puis le brésilien Musao. Pour terminer, vous allez voir que de jolies rencontres et de surprises, surtout pour la dernière interview, il y a un petit truc vachement sympa. Du coup, presque 2 heures ensemble pour revivre cette édition bien chambée du Sónar, a commencé par un petit peu d'ambiance à l'écoute de King Camille, la première artiste que j'ai pu rencontrer sur site. Elle était accompagnée de Joao Parente pour un projet hybride audiovisuel que j'avoue on a loupé parce qu'on avait un déjeuner obligatoire de presse. Donc ce n'est pas de notre faute, hein, mais bon, on va commencer déjà par se mettre un petit peu dans la musique. Le titre s'appelle Bota Nobrega sur Rinse. Restez bien verrouillés avec nous. On est là jusqu'à 14h pour parler Sónar Lisboa. On est bien verrouillé avec Rinse France au Portugal pour une toute nouvelle édition du Sónar de Lisbonne, le genre d'endroit où on croise par exemple 2 big boss nommés King Camille et Joao Parente. J'espère que je le prononce bien, je ne suis pas très excellente en portugais. Mais en tout cas, ils sortent tout juste de leur performance audiovisuelle et je vous les présente tout de suite.
Hi, I'm King Camille, I'm the DJ.
Hi, I'm John Parente. Wow. This is so strange speaking like that, but I'm the visual artist behind the visuals.
So you just finished your performance. How was it?
It was great. It was super high energy, and the sound because it's my part. So it was amazing for me. I really felt the energy of the people that were there dancing.
Yeah, it was great as well. I think playing at such an early time at a festival is always a challenge, but I think we managed to grasp the energy from the public. It was fun.
How was the crowd at 2 p.m.? Because it was 2 p.m., yeah?
Actually, a few people dancing a lot. So to be playing at this early and to have people that are dancing, enjoying.
Yeah.
It was for me, it was a nice dance floor and enjoying and sharing with people. And for you, Joao?
It's always a nice validation to see people dancing at such an early time, to be honest. So it's very rewarding.
How is it to play that early for you? Do you consider it as a challenge or is it, basic stuff?
About myself and what I do is interesting to be that early, but at the same time it's a festival, so it's a different context that would be I don't know, a daytime party or something, So for sure, I was really high energy, and I wanted people to see to start dancing since the beginning of the festival for sure.
Yeah, I think part of the concept of the show that we're doing, it's always to keep the high energy regardless of the time we're playing. So it's always fun to see the contrast between people, and I think it's kind of seductive as well in some way, because people expect people who are playing early to be slower, and we don't really budge.
Yeah. Wasn't slow at all.
No.
I mean, it's a set that comes with a video art. So we want to sync on the video art, and the rhythms that we are presenting are so fast. So might as well start so fast too, and high energy.
How is Portuguese public to you? Is it a good energy, a good crowd? Are they shy? Are they dancing a lot? I don't know.
So I'm Brazilian, but I started DJing when I moved to Portugal.
Okay.
And I'm very used to this shy Portuguese dance floor. But at the same time, like today, it wasn't that shy, you know, like people were dancing and they were like with space also, like really being like doing their moves, you know. It was cool. Like it's nice to present a set that is fast and early, but people also like get into it and started also like dancing in the same energy that I'm presenting.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure it was super fun. Yeah.
An opinion on Portuguese crowd, maybe?
I'm also Brazilian, and I think there's a difference when it comes to the crescent of people's energy. But strangely, I think there's something in Portugal that makes people very free in a way. I feel like Portuguese crowds in general, they tend to start really shy, as Camila said, but then they get really crazy, and they don't really care about the gaze that people have upon them, and they tend to be very transparent with what they're feeling. So it's always good to have a crowd like that, because you look at them and you know exactly what's going on. And they're always dancing, to be fair. So
Wow, so cool.
So it's good, yeah.
How about being here for Sónar? Quite a big festival, you know it. Does that represent something in particular for you?
It's super special, of course.
Yeah,
like
I guess.
I feel super happy, and it's my second time actually in Sónar Lisboa.
You did last year?
I did 2 years ago.
Okay.
So for me, it's like kind of privilege, you know, like to be the second time. Like I don't know if they have like a lot of Portuguese acts or local acts that they book twice. But I'm here again with another type of show that I presented 2 years ago, and it's amazing, you know, like super cool. Sónar is like a really nice festival, like a lot, especially for artists, and
kind of institution, if you can say
Sim, in a validation.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
How about you?
For me, it's the first time that I presented anything in a festival as big as Sónar.
Congrats.
And thank you. And it was refreshing to see my work exhibited in such a big screen as well, and along with the amazing light sets that they presented. They offer us in a way. So yeah, very validating, but fun as well.
And Sónar is about, you know, innovating and creation, every form of arts. So can you describe this show? Because this show was particular and we're talking about it, but our listeners haven't seen it. So what was this show?
It's a tribute to the city that we both had a moment of our life. I was born there and I lived till I was 14 in João Pessoa.
Yeah.
And Joao can say like about his experience on this city, but I proposed this to Joao, and we built an imaginarium, utopic place, and that comes from nostalgic also place of us, and we change a lot the reality of what the city is or what the city can be, or what I don't know, we are presenting a city that's mostly like in Europe no one knows, you know. So we are changing and doing like a sci-fi thing, like that will transport you to the city, but not the real city. But for sure, Joao, about the image and the concept, can talk about more about this.
Were you born there too?
No, but I grew up there. I was born in
Okay.
Manaus, which is a city in the middle of the Amazon, but I moved there. My mom's from there, and I moved there when I was 9, and I lived there
Okay.
until I was 18. And I think you lived there until you were 14, right?
When I moved outside of João Pessoa, you moved to there.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Portugal, you were moving to João Pessoa.
Okay.
But I think this collaboration also comes from a very strange place of coincidence, because we had the same group of friends and we were actually in the same party once, but we never met each other until we moved to Portugal. So it was almost like a kind of like mystic meeting of some sort.
Okay.
And I think from my part, the main idea behind Jean Papas Agarda, which is the name of the piece, is trying to bring a city that doesn't belong to the canon of fiction into the canon of fiction. So like we are proposing that João Pessoa is the same as Paris, as New York or Tokyo or anything like that, and we're presenting possible fictions that could happen within a city that no one knows. So we're kind of like forcing something onto a canon and proposing like a lot of fictionalized or absurd or bizarre scenes within a scenario that wouldn't normally receive that kind of thought. And it's kind of like a play on the possibility of imagination when it comes to home cities that, or like places that people who are not born within this canon are from.
When was the first time you played this show together? Because it was not the first today.
Actually, it was in France that we did the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
It was in Scopiton in Nantes.
Okay.
Yeah, in Sterlux, Scopiton.
Okay. What year?
It was last year.
Okay.
Yeah,
we almost met there.
Oh,
Why have you decided to do that at the first time, you know?
I really want to add a video piece in my DJing. I did first with Figa Link from Paris. He's also Brazilian. And then like I really want to do something that was a tribute to the city that I was born, because it's still like something that influenced me a lot, especially musically wise. And I wanted to build this DJ set that is very special for this VA show, that brings this city, the images of the city, because it's so beautiful. And I don't know, like to mix with the rhythms that are from this region of Brazil, Nordeste, and in João Pessoa also. Like I think it was tight, and I don't know, it's always something that I look forward to, like to create new stuff to add to my artistic side, and DJing or doing lives, and João was up for it, and we built this, and it was really special and cool.
So you guys met in Lisbon, not in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah? How did you meet?
So this is also something slightly strange and mystic. I had an online friend that became kind of like my father when I immigrated to Portugal. And then he started living with Cami out of the blue. And then one day he was like, I moved to this new apartment, and my roommate is also where you grew up in. I think you should come here and meet her. And then we met and we became friends instantly. And it was kind of... The thing is that like I met him when I was 15. I moved here when I was 26. Okay. So we were online friends for a really long time. And then when this happened, it almost felt like a continuation of my life. I kept thinking that you never really escape where you're from, and and things just unfold onto new things and onto new things over and over again. But you always you're faced with your past over and over. And it was actually super nice meeting Cami, because it was a side of my past that I didn't really know, which also pointed towards the future. So it was very refreshing in that way.
Do you have something to add about that?
Actually, I have, because for me, it was really strange, because like meeting someone that is from your city, that knows like your childhood friends.
And this is not Rio, like this is smaller city. Like
it's not. It's a capital, but it's
capital?
small. But it's not that small comparing. I don't know, to Lisbon.
Yeah.
It's very big, but it's in Brazil. Everything.
Yeah. But
like
Lisbon is very small too.
But for me, it was like a validation of being a Brazilian. I live in Portugal for so long. Like I moved, I was 14. Meanwhile, 16 years later, I'm 30 and I'm still live here. And for me, like it's still very close. At least the music, I'm very connected to it. And to meet Joao and to know childhood friends, for me was like kind of validation that I'm truly Brazilian. Yes. but yeah, and at the same time, like to have this nostalgia. I feel this nostalgia when I'm with Joao, like
Saudade.
uma saudade. Sim. Yeah.
I told you I have 10 words in. Sorry, you can go on.
No, but yeah, it is a kind of saudades of. Saudades is such a complex word, but
But I love this word so much.
so unique, right? But yeah, it was a validation, also like a mix of nostalgia, saudade, and at the same time like instantly connection, because he's a person that's lived in the same place that I grew up, and we like sometimes we talk and we know the same place like that we were talking, and for me it's like a really long distant memory. Joao is not here like as long as I am, but you feel the same, I think.
Yeah. What have you learned from working on that common project?
I always liked because Joao is more than a visual artist, he's a performance. I always was really interested to see like Joao's performance, and he did a few in Lisbon also, and actually like you did feel video artists. I knew like you are such a creative person, so if I propose something that is very like far from you, you would reach it anyway, because you're such a creative person and you are like interested of learning and doing more stuff. So for me it was like I always saw your performance as a I don't know, a dancer, a performative person, and I was like we can work together, you know. And when I proposed, you were super open, and I was like super happy about it, because I know this is a very creative person and must be like more instigated, you know, to work together and stuff. And it's super cool. Like I'm really happy about it.
Joao, something to add?
The
lesson. What was the lesson for you?
I'm really passionate about collaborative work in general, and I think our creativity is always limited to a set of things that we think we believe in, and then when someone proposes something that's outside of your scope, but at the same time it gives you space to propose back, I think this is always a very growing situation in some way. I've been working with collaborations, I think ever since my art career started to get better, and I worked alone for quite a bit, and then I had a few collectives before. But a really turning point in my life was when I started to collaborate with people, and I started to stop being so obsessed about delivering my own perspective on things. Okay. And then in some way, when you give space to other people, but it's always very refreshing, because it's a combination of sensibilities in general. And I think what interests me the most about working with Camila was that she plays a very, she has like a very wide set of genres that she plays, but she always pays this homage to Brazilian music from the Northeast, which tends to be quite fast-paced and associated with a type of visuality that comes from a more serious or sexy place. And I think a lot of my my sensibility goes around making evident how ridiculous everything is, you know? And I have like a very camp sensibility towards everything. So it's very refreshing for me to propose something to Camila and then she accepts it back. Yeah. Because I think the most interesting thing about our piece is how the visuals are connected to the music, but at the same time there's like a sense of playfulness in everything. And I think in the previous work that she did with Bernardo, it tended to be slightly more serious, but she had experiences with like camp visualities before. In a duo that she had beforehand called Caravaggio, right? And I think Bernardo actually did the visual pieces for it. But yeah, but he used to be much more camp, and then he went to like a more yeah, like yeah, it's like a visuality that's sophisticated, and not undermining my own visuality. And but I think I work in the gray zone between like well-rounded things and also like slightly satirical and campy sensibility.
Okay, so what will be next step? Maybe VA Live, because you produced too.
I mean, this is like the next step.
Yeah.
Probably do like a
I was
live
hoping this
with
was.
this piece, of course. Like it's such a special piece and very near us. And for sure, like I produce, so the goal is to become a live set actually.
Okay, we will be looking forward to it. Do you have any word to conclude for Rinse listeners?
I do have stuff coming up, so you should pay attention and following me and seeing like what I'm doing. And I have a EP coming up, and also like a single track too. So yeah, and a lot of also like live sets, DJ sets, doing also like with Joao and stuff. So yeah, pay attention on King coming.
Yeah, many things. Do you have something to add, Joao?
I don't know. Follow us on our socials. I don't know. What do people say in the end of the interviews? I'm not really familiarized with this.
You know, whatever they want.
I'm João Parente. Follow me on Instagram. It's J Parnete. It's Parnete. Oh yeah, just click on something. I don't know. I do. Yeah, watch the trailer if you're not able to see it, and then if we're close to you, come and see us. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
Obrigada. Nice to meet you too.
Obrigada.
Merci.
Personne ne peut tester mes skills en portugais, s'il vous plaît, c'est obrigada de grande qualité. Ça va Léa, t'as passé un bon moment à l'écoute de nos amis brésiliens.
Oui. Moi j'ai adoré, mais j'avoue pour faire une petite transi, on a fait l'interview pile poil pendant le set de Gabber Eleganza, donc j'entendais les basses en fond. Et je frétillais d'impatience.
Coup de pression visuelle en mode bon, il va falloir qu'on descende. C'était en tout cas joli petit tunnel. Moi j'ai adoré ce petit moment des artistes qu'on vous recommande très très fortement, King Camille et Joao, Parente sur Rinse, puisqu'on est toujours en plein récap du coup de la dernière édition du Sónar Lisboa. On se repasse toutes les interviews qu'on a fait du coup à l'occasion de cette je ne sais pas combienième édition, 3e, 4e,
je ne sais pas non plus, mais
je manque à tous mes devoirs, mais incroyable édition où justement on a pu se balader un petit peu au pays de ta danse favorite. Léa, quelle est-elle, s'il te plaît?
Eh bien, on a pu danser. En plus, après le gros resto, j'avoue, c'était pas le moment idéal, mais on a tous pu danser le haken ensemble devant Gabber Eleganza.
C'est vrai, le bide rempli
et vraiment
plein.
Ouais. De croquettes, de desserts, de tout, mais on a donné ce qu'on a pu.
Très bonne digestion à l'écoute du set de Gabber Eleganza. Du coup, Léa, est-ce que c'était ton festival, carrément, ton set préféré du festival?
Ah bah bien sûr, moi c'était celui que j'attendais le plus parce que en fait c'est vrai qu'à chaque fois que je me retrouve sur des festivals comme ça, il y a énormément de noms que je connais pas et c'est le feu parce que ça me permet d'en découvrir aussi et de toucher à d'autres styles de musique. Mais quand j'ai vu Gabber Eleganza, je me suis dit il ne faut pas que je rate ce set et c'est incroyable parce que en fait ça s'appelle The Hacker Show et donc le principe.
Vous avez testé ses skills
exactement.
En néerlandais.
Je m'entraîne
bravo.
aussi à le parler. Et du coup, il se trouve que donc en plus du DJ, de joueur qui mixait, il y avait toute une team de danseurs et toute une mise en scène qui donnait l'énergie. On avait un super MC aussi. Donc c'est vrai que ça a pu chauffer toute la salle pour l'après-midi et pour la soirée à venir.
Et on n'a pas fait que danser avec eux, on a fait également l'interview du siècle, évidemment, avec du coup le DJ de Gabber Eleganza ainsi que le fameux MC. Qu'est-ce que tu retiens, toi, de cette interview?
Moi, je retiens du coup que ils ont quand même bien expliqué ce que c'était aussi la culture Gabber, le haken, le hardcore aussi, tout ça. Parce que c'est vrai que c'est quand même assez indissociable, cette culture-là, de la musique. Enfin, il y a un truc très lié avec la danse, avec le mouvement, d'où ça vient, quelle classe sociale aussi ça touche. Et du coup, c'est vrai que c'était hyper intéressant d'avoir un peu son background, sachant qu'il vient d'Italie, il me semble.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Et de la campagne, et que du coup, bref, vous l'écouterez.
On s'attend pas forcément à ce genre de musique, mais voilà, à suivre sur Rinse France, toujours en anglais. On espère que vous êtes bilingue à notre écoute. On se verrouille avec Gabber Eleganza, ou la plus grosse session transpiration de ce Sónar 2025. Écoutez plutôt. Rinse est toujours dans la superbe Lisbonne à l'occasion du Sónar 2025, deuxième jour de fiesta, premier jour d'interview pour nous, et on vient juste de rejoindre les personnes qui nous ont fait transpirer, qui nous ont fait danser comme jamais. Gabber Eleganza, représenté aujourd'hui par leur DJ ainsi que leur MC Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oi, oi, nice.
Can you say who is who?
My name is Alberto. Artist name Gabber Eleganza. I'm the CEO of the project and the artist behind the collective, the face behind the collective. And I introduced Matthew.
Exactly. I'm Matthew, and I'm the MC of the crew.
Let's say Matthew started as one of my dancers for one of the performances, the Hacker Show. Okay. I met him many months ago, and he got the style, he got the swag, so he got the moves.
Yeah, he does.
But he also had a huge punk background, like a performer. So I said, I want to bring something a little bit dirty at the first the performance. So we started with him, and it was okay. That's really fit. So let's move on, and that's it. Where is it?
Okay, so nice to meet you guys. Thank you for this amazing show. I think we've danced like as much as we could. Look at Léa, she's still sweating. No, it's better. Yeah. Okay, so how was it for you being on stage?
It was
Still red, by the way.
I'm kind of red, but maybe I'm just blushing. But no. It was an amazing gig, and a lot of people turned up eventually. So wicked as fuck, yeah.
How was the energy for you?
For me, I try to keep myself more in the shadow, because the dance performance, the Hacker Show, is not about me, but it's about the dancer. So for me, it's always very nice, but obviously I'm the guy responsible for everything. So it took me a lot of time to feel it. And after the half time of the, after the second part of the show, I'm going to just go with the flow, is smooth. But it's amazing. Every time we learn a lot, we express ourselves, we bring our culture. So every place and context is very different. So, but at the end of the day, we are always very exhausting and happy.
Yeah, I guess. How long was it? It was 1 hour show?
Yeah, 1 hour.
Yeah,
because after 1 hour is impossible for the breathing and everything, because they give the max. In 1 hour is because we try many times, different times. So 1 hour is the best. It's the best of the best time.
We danced something like 30 minutes and we were exhausted as fuck. So how can you stay that long? How do you do? What's the secret?
I wouldn't say drugs. So
no.
Passion. Yeah, that's fucking the main thing to keep us going. Yeah.
Was it the first gig in Portugal, or have you ever came to Lisbon before?
With the Hacker Show, yes. I played once as a Gabber Eleganza DJ set, Mucho Flow Festival in Guimarães. Was end of October last year. Was kind of a avant-garde-ish music festival. It's amazing, smaller, but very dedicated. So yeah, it was nice.
But this is not your first Sónar, because I saw you in Barcelona last year. It was amazing too. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was unbelievable. It was the first time we bring the new show.
And especially Barcelona. It was like very early and inside and very sunny outside. So I was like, it's impressive how much people are there, to dance with you at that time. So how was it for you to live that moment?
I mean, Sónar, I will say, is one of... When I was a young raver, Sónar was always like kind of... For like a main big festival, was one of the places that everyone want to go. I never had money to go on these kind of things. And play there, obviously, is kind of a big emotional moments, and bring our culture in a place that never really... showed that part of electronic music is very is a proud element. So make us very proud. And on top of that, we had a great, super funny. Honestly, I still have a goosebump. My wife and my daughter was there. All our friends were there. Was like a front row of people for us. So it was very, honestly, was the best show in terms of emotion. But tonight we also had because we didn't know what to expect. Because of course it was also early in the afternoon. And Lisbon, it's the small brother of the Barcelona Sónar. So we started. It was kind of empty, and filled up in a couple of song. So was amazing. Honest. This time was in terms of show was better.
To be honest, we were hearing from upstairs. We were interviewing someone, and we were hearing the energy from downstairs. Okay, we have to finish and go downstairs. How is it for you?
For me, it's it's kind of incredible to see everyone go fucking mad on fucking the beats we do. Yeah, it's mad as fuck. Yeah, I love it.
I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
So you said the Hake show. This is how we pronounce the Hake show.
Hake.
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 Okay, I don't know how
It's
to
a
say
Dutch
it.
word, but it's hard to pronounce.
The very first Hake show was in Barcelona, if I'm right. No.
So
In Dour.
the first new Hake show where with a new production, with the stage, with the light designer, with the new stage designer, was for the very first time, like the beta version was Nuit Sonore.
Okay.
But the full version was at Barcelona last year. But Hake show exists from when I started with the Gabber Eleganza. And it was obviously evolved from small clubs to big stage. And but we did a lot of like a Dour festival, for example. You mentioned Pukkelpop. We did Berghain, for example. We flew the Flow Festival in Helsinki. We did a few times in London as well. Oval Space, we did an event with Warp Records and Lorenzo Seni. So it was kind of very different. We did also some hardcore party as well. So it was kind of very hybridated and eclectic context.
How would you describe the Hake show to our listeners that were unfortunately not with us today?
Pure fucking Gabber.
Yes, and Hake is a Gabber dance. So we bring our culture and our dance like a kind of folkloristic elements on outside the hardcore world. So create like a bridge of dialogue. And so we basically show our culture to people that maybe they don't have a clue what it's about. For many years, Gabbers and hardcore was a huge stigma of negativity. So with this work, the idea is obviously at the beginning was to break this kind of stereotype. Nowadays, everyone uses hardcore like candies.
Yeah.
So it's very, it's nice, you know, because it's really changed. Like a new generation, internet helped to switch the stereotype in a positive way, but it still need culturally someone that need to say something. So we kind of try to bring the best, you know. We were there to play faster when nobody were playing faster. So it's kind of, and still doing differently and in our own way. So we build up our world. We respect from the roots, but also we try to check the future. Yeah, I think that, yeah, it's the best. I mean, we like it. I mean, we love it, honestly.
How did you came to the creation of that specific show? Like, how did you had the idea to, you know, put the dancers at the center of the thing?
So the first Gabber show, the Gabber Eleganza show, the Hake show was 2016.
Okay.
In a museum. So basically, this artist, Karsten Hulle, invite different artists to do a kind of a sound clash, like in a dance hall, different sound system clashing together. And I say he pick up like an African Afrobeats rock band, like 15 elements, and I say we want something kind of against Europe. Okay. And Lorenzo Seni, that is producing on Warp Records, he invited me to say, you wanna play? Because at that time, Gabber Eleganza was an online archive. So the project started like an online archive. And
when you say online archive, it's like a blog? Or
yeah, he started
website?
like a blog, but in the
Okay.
meantime, I also have physical archive.
Okay.
But the name comes from the blog. It's an old Tumblr.
Okay.
It sounds like very old now, but
Yeah.
in the meantime, I keep that
But I know
spirit.
that.
It's kind of more showing differently things, aesthetic and visual, blah, blah, blah. So at one point, I say, okay, we need to do something offline. So we started with that, with the show. And the beginning was, I want to bring my culture there. So the African stage, they will have their culture. So I want to bring my culture. I invite all my old friends. They used to be
So
Gabber.
they were your friends?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
So basically, it was very, very genuine and simple. And they danced front row with me. And the fact was clashing because playing hardcore in a museum in Italy was something very mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? Probably people spit on us, or maybe they're going to... And it was crazy beautiful. So from that point, I start to understand, okay, it's interesting to pitch my blog and offline with this same mentality and approach. So I started and become better and better and better. And that's evolving. This now is a proper show. We did theater as well.
Yeah.
So it's the idea is really like a culturally, but keeping as Matthew say, that kind of pure Gabber spirit. So we don't give a fuck. We are a black sheep somehow. We bring our culture. If you like it, it's cool. If you don't like it, who cares? So that's kind of punky and harsh at the same times, and that's also the pure gabber. So come from that
It's all
kind
about
of
freedom.
outsider underdog. So I don't want to lose that side. So we keep obviously make it cooler, and we like it. We work on the creativity side, but we also need to keep that side, harshness and rude and dirty.
Can you present like the whole team?
Okay, I mean, me is me. I already told you. Matthew was already introduced. We have a 4 dancer. We have 2 lead dancer. One female lead dancer is Anna. With me with us from 5 years. We have Chipo, that is a lead male dancer, and he with me when he was like underage. He was like a 17. So 7 years, he's become like a kind of my little brother. We have some turnover of different, and Anna from Rotterdam, Chipo is from Venice. Today we have Norman from Paris, that he did like a couple of time with us. And the new, for the first time we have Chiara from Rome.
Okay.
And we have Ada, that she's from Glasgow, and she's our light stage design. And so we have all Europe.
International team.
International. And sometimes, for example, last month we were like in Melbourne, and we got 2 dancers from there that I was already following, because of course for also logistic was having like 5 people traveling was a little bit too much.
Yeah, sure.
So it's still like I have a lot of dancers around, but this is the main group.
So how do you do when you go to Melbourne and you have to find some people? Are you like putting Instagram story like, hey, I'm looking for dancers? Or how you do?
I'm looking them for like online, but I already have the talent scouting. So I have like a huge folder with a profile. So like I investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
It's a
have
talent
her on
scouting.
your-
Talent
on your
scout. I didn't
profile?
saw her yet.
That's how you found me as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
So I have like a folder, and that's part of my work is also looking, be attention what is happening, the new generation dancing in a new way.
Yeah.
So I need to find someone that is dancing maybe in an old way, but with pushing their own style. So it's a long ongoing research.
And are you a dancer too?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
today I didn't let me go so much,
I was sure you were.
but yes, I'm a dancer as well. I'm now older. I can do it. I mean, I used to be I was a gabber, so yes,
Yeah.
I'm still a gabber, but I'm also, I'm also adult now. Yeah, but yes, I'm still a gabber, and yes, of course, I can dance.
Cool. You will show us later, maybe.
I have no problem.
How much do you prepare such a show, like as for the music and the dance part and the MC part too?
I spoke a lot.
Yeah. Let's match you.
To be honest, I really don't rehearse. This is all my background. I've been playing in a punk band for the last 20 years. Yeah, I'm a stage person, so this is all my thing, and I just adapt where I get into. If there's a different track in the set list, I just get into it. This is what I do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I really don't rehearse, to be honest. No, and I've been gabber dancing for the last 20 years, so I don't need to rehearse that either. So it just comes automatically.
That's the most amazing part about it. And how about you for the music? How do you prepare it, or don't prepare it?
For in terms of like a choreographer and dance performance, of course I worked on it, but we don't have really time to rehearse because, except for me, that I'm like I kind of my work is an artist. They all have like a working, so it's difficult to meet up and rehearsal. But also I want to keep this kind of naive spirits of be a pure gabber without to be too much in control or too much staged or strategy before. Of course we have, I've wrote down some notes, we have something to follow, but it's still like a white draw. So they can, so I let them paint. They have a space, there is a lot of flexibility on my side. But in terms of the set is obviously built up as a sort of catharsis, like in a kind of a theater way. So building up, but with a lot of pause. So in terms of, I need them technically to breathe. So, but they need to breathe without make the crowd bored. So I need also, but that's the way that I build up the setup. And there is always a crescendo in the BPM, in the velocity. and the set is divided in 4 chapters, and every chapter end with a solo moment of every dancer. So there is always this solo moment when they are like on the top level of the stage, and everyone seated down, including me. So all the spots are the dancer, and that's the way that everyone can show their own moves, and that's it. So that's how build up the show in order to give everyone their own spot on, because as I said, it's about the dancer. It's not about me. It's not about the music, but of course, music is the sound narrative. But they could be dance without the music and will be the same effect.
It's all about experiencing.
You can dance 9 hours long at a party, and that's the Gabber spirit. You don't have to practice it. It's just doing it, you know. You don't have to practice it. You just gotta listen to Gabber, love Gabber, and then you can dance for 8 hours long. That's what we do at parties. You don't have to practice. It's not a practicing thing. It's just in you, you know. And that's what I love about it.
So you don't have like basic moves to what's the word? I'm losing my word. To learn to our listeners.
Just gotta listen to Gabber, in my opinion. Go to a Gabber party, do what you think you gotta do, and then it just goes automatically.
I mean, it's not necessary dance haka. You can dance whatever you want at the hardcore party. So that's how you feel just free. Of course, embrace a subculture. That means you embrace some codes, and codes means that you embrace specific elements to want to belong to this family. Of course, you want to be what they want. You want to do what they want to be. Sorry, you understand what I mean, you know? So yeah.
How did you both fall in love with that culture?
I'm from Rotterdam.
That's in your blood?
Yeah, at 8 years old, we had Gabbertje. It was mainstream Gabber music, and when I was 8 years old, that was just for me it. Even though I'm a punk, it's still part of my life, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm being brought up with it, and that's amazing about being from Holland.
How about you? Because it's not that much Italy, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm Italian. Italy, especially in the millennium, because I'm born in '85. So when I was teenager in 2099, Italian hardcore was the best hardcore at the time, because he say about this Gabbertje was kind of a mainstream, and in Holland, when it's become mainstream, basically all the scene fall down in something very gimmick. In the meantime, in other part of Europe, people was the second generation of producer bring the new idea. An Italian producer at the time, I mean, they're still like very good, but at the time was very bring the fuel in the scene, creatively speaking, in a music production, and also in a different way to. They are obviously still looking at what is happening in Holland in terms of fashion, in terms of how to do party, in terms of visual identity for the party. They kind of was taking reference from that, but musically, we're just bringing a new hit. And so I was 14 for a similar way. So when I was a kid, like 11, 12, mid-90s, hardcore in Italy was not everywhere, but was like a cool things for youngster. Okay. I come from a countryside. So countryside, basically everyone will listen or metal music or hardcore. So all the working class kids they have extreme music taste. So it was or like the nerd one a little bit. Yeah. They were more into metal, and the chav one was a little bit more into hardcore. And so I was attracted by also the chav aesthetic, so the Gabber aesthetic. So I loved that stuff. And I was really attracted by the aesthetic as well. So they look like an alien to me. B14, and I remember the first time I shaved my hand when I was 15. In school, they put me to the major, the president, headmaster. Say, Alberto, go to the headmaster. And I say, what is happening? Do you have a problem at home? They start to talk me like a psychology, because they say, what is happening? You have a phase. What's happening? You have a drug. You know, you're into drugs. And so, no, this is into the Gabber. Yeah, that's kind of the things. But it was like a very, like for me, was very alienating. But at the same time, it was a need to belong in. You know, when you're a teenager, everyone needs to belong to something different than the family. So it was a perfect time to just belong to. And I fall in love with the hardcore, and I still think that period was very, very creative. I still play sometimes that music as well. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
And what I also miss nowadays, like back in the 90s or early 2000s, you were divided into areas. You were a punk, you were a skater, or a hip hop guy. And now it's just all blended in. There's no subgenres anymore, and I think that's really a shame.
Yeah.
I think the world's gone boring, and I love that. Yeah, you could fit in where you wanted to be because you were outstanding. Yeah, I love that.
What's the next step for you now, guys? Do you have shows coming, new music? I don't know.
In terms of hacker show, now we don't have anything confirmed. We have, because of course the show is now big and need obviously the proper stage to make it. But we are, of course, a lot of interest. There is a possibility to do like a tour in Australia next year, a tour in China next year. So for the first time in Asia, with a hockey show will be very, very mind-blowing, honestly.
Amazing.
Very, very like a cultural shock and sound clash. In terms of DJ set, I'm always playing. I mean, now I'm taking a couple of weeks for like a holiday with the Easter break with my family. But I have like this year is I have a label as well. It's called Never Sleep.
Yeah.
And it's 5 years. So we have a party in Berlin at the end of May. We have a party in the 24th of May in Berlin, Anomaly Club. We have a party Magnolia in Milano. We're talking for different party after summer. So yeah, I play in France as well. I play in this festival called Fusion.
Oh, okay.
Is a new kind of festival, or maybe is a kind of fresh festival. And yeah, I mean, DJ side, I always keeping going. DJ set is obviously different.
Sure.
I try to hybridate it more. It's not only strict Gabber. I really like to play hardcore in a big spectrum of the words. And yes, so in terms of music, the idea is also to, because Hacker Show now is a mix of my own track and old tracks. The idea is to arrive to make all my own tracks and make like an album with the Hacker tracks that I use for the Hacker Show. That's the plan for the next year. I'm working on an installation and a new book that is coming out in June. About the new book is about a rave in Japan. Yeah, it's a collaboration with this label called Murder Channel.
Okay.
He's a kind of an archivist from a rave in Japan like me in Europe. And it's called Manga Corps. Hardcore gabbers and otaku rave artifacts from the 19th to the 2000 in Japan.
So nice.
Yeah, and coming out at the end of June.
Okay, so cool. Do you have a word for the end? Maybe the MC.
It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Kurva.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. On est de retour après un sacré tunnel avec les Gabber Eleganza. C'était comment? T'as kiffé, Léa?
Bah oui, moi j'ai kiffé. Moi j'ai bu leurs paroles et puis c'était hyper intéressant.
Tu l'as revécu plusieurs fois, hein, du coup, il faut savoir.
Puis de sacrés personnages aussi. Hein.
Ouais, franchement, c'était ma première interview avec eux, pas des moindres, je suis très contente.
Bah, moi aussi. Hein.
Je le rappelle, c'était un petit entretien enregistré au Sónar Lisboa qu'on débriefe pour encore 1h05. Quelle chance. On va partir sur un petit peu de musique après ça, hein, parce que ça faisait beaucoup de papotes. Avec un titre que tu as choisi, Léa. Qu'est-ce que tu as ramené? Qu'est-ce qu'on écoute? Ça va être quoi?
Bah, du coup, j'ai choisi, donc forcément, de Gabber Eleganza, j'ai choisi le titre Move Your Car. Où en gros, vous allez voir dans la track, on entend comme le MC d'une soirée qui dit la plaque d'immatriculation d'une voiture et qui bloque tout le passage.
Est-ce qu'on sait si c'est Mathieu ou pas?
Peut-être. Le mystère reste entier.
On espère. Mystère sur Rinse France, le choix de Lélé. Gabber Eleganza, on revient tout de suite.
There's some cars parked in the market, right? Hold on, keep it down for a minute, let's hear these numbers. C631-85HC, J455 RMO, A146TYO, 0456VAV, D456VAV. Move your cars, they're gonna get towed away. Some cars parked in the market, right? Hold on, keep it down for a minute, let's hear these numbers. 85HC, J455 RMO, A146 TYO, 0456 BAV. 85HC, J455 RMO, A146 TYO, 0456 BAV. 85HC, J455 RMO, A146 TYO, 0456 BAV.
à l'affût du meilleur son d'Europe. On est bien à Lisbonne pour le Sónar Festival avec la team Rinse et on vient d'y rencontrer un DJ et producteur qui est peut-être déjà une légende à vos yeux ou qui risque de le devenir. En tout cas, pour nous, c'en est une depuis un petit moment. Et il vient d'enflammer le Sónar avec un merveilleux back-to-back. Il s'appelle Nick Leon. Je vous le présente tout de suite. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah? How was it?
It was very fun. A lot of energy. I'm pretty exhausted now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it was great.
How long have you played? A bit long, no?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are playing
Yeah.
back to back?
Yeah, we were playing back to back for 2 hours.
Yeah. How was it?
Great. You know, we just met, honestly.
Yeah.
And so that's always an interesting. I mean, I don't really do that often. Play with people that I don't know, but I've been a fan of his music for. I was looking at it earlier, like since 2017 or something like this, so a long time.
Yeah.
So this was a cool. Happy you got to do it in Lisbon, you know.
It must be a huge challenge, you know, to play back to back with someone you don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
How do you afford that?
I mean, I think just because I know the music and I have like a big respect for Principe and like all the artists involved.
Mm.
Yeah, but I was definitely curious also how we would, you know, meet. But I think there's a lot of crossovers with our sounds.
So you haven't prepared anything, like it was only improvising?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you play, it's that kind of stuff?
No, not necessarily. This one I just didn't like. I came prepared, of course, with music, but we didn't like plan anything. I guess is more what I mean.
Okay.
But when I play, other times, yeah, I have my methods. I wouldn't say they're organized, but
What kind of methods? Can you share it with us?
I wouldn't even know how to describe. It's very just
Like digging methods or what kind of methods?
just like sorting stuff, sorting music around, and I guess digging methods. I don't know. Not really. Just the whole experience of the DJ part.
What's the secret for a perfect set or back-to-back or the kind of performance you're proud of? Do you have special tricks, special, I don't know.
I honestly no way. I don't know.
Just talent?
It's I mean, it's definitely just like always depends on the situation. You know, you can't really come prepared.
Yeah.
Depending unless you know the place. I don't know. Even still, I try not to think about it too much. That's my secret.
That's the secret. Not think too much about
don't
it.
think too much about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try
And
not
talent,
to at
I
least.
guess.
Yeah. Thank you.
Was it the first time you play at Sónar?
I played Sónar Barcelona in 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was sick. Yeah, I played right after Tocororo and Dinamarca.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's great. Always great artists on
So
the lineups.
Lisbon was the first time? Or maybe
First
you had...
time in Sónar for Lisbon, yeah.
Yeah?
But I've been to Lisbon a few times before.
Where have you played there?
Music Box, which is a club with the artists King Kami and Pedro Da Linha, and recently at Lux Fragile.
Does that festival represent something in particular for you?
Sónar?
Yeah.
I think I mean, I wouldn't really, I'm not an expert, but I would say maybe that I always like the lineups that they do. So it seems like they care.
Yeah, I know we don't have a lot of time together, but you know, there is so many stuff I wanted to ask you about because you have so many interesting stuff. So maybe we can just take the very beginning of it all.
Sure.
How did you start, you know, fall in love with electronic music? And
Music?
Yeah, music in general. What is your very first memory of music?
My very first memory of music, that's a hard one, but I can say that I got really into music as a kid. And I found some software on my older brother's computer and kind of thought of it as a game for a little bit, and then I just got really obsessed and couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And it went, I mean, where I'm from in Miami, it was more, at the time it was like reggaeton, but also rap stuff, so I was doing production for artists like that. And I got pretty deep into that world for a while, and then I discovered electronic music just through my cousins were really into it. There was an era in Miami when it got really popular.
You should shout out that cousin. Who is that?
Mateo. Shout out to Mateo.
Thank you, Mateo.
Yeah, he's put me onto a lot. He's also a musician. He's a percussionist. Yeah, it's just always been out of curiosity for different things.
Yeah.
And finding ways to relate it to where I'm from.
Do you remember your very first gig, maybe?
My very first gig, the one I can remember clearly was thrown by now like a dear friend of mine named Ashley. It was in Miami with, it was called Aidée, and beautiful lineup of people who would grow to be like pretty big in the South Florida rap scene. And I was doing just like a weird live beat set. I was doing that kind of stuff, like Flying Lotus or this kind of music. Yeah, I mean it's been a while now, so it's changed a lot. Yeah.
Do you consider more yourself as a DJ or producer, or it's same for you?
Producer first, for sure. Yeah. I like making music. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. I only really DJing. I fell in love with it later, but it's just like the one that makes you money faster out of the two jobs. You know, people don't pay producers. Yeah. So you have to find ways to work, and DJing is
so
a
this
fun
is
one.
the way you found.
But then, you know, after you learn the art, obviously it's an art, and then approaching it and finding your sound and finding ways to mix in the music that you make with that stuff and sharing stuff that, I mean, my favorite part about DJing now is like I'm from Miami, and all the artists that are there, I like playing them in my sets so that I can share their music when I travel, because I'm one of the ones that gets to travel. So it's nice to share it in that way.
And how is your label doing now? Impacto? Is it
Impacto? Yeah.
Impacto?
So we had to take a little break because I was touring a lot last year, and we were both
yeah, you're everywhere. How can you do all of this at the same time?
No, it was difficult. So we took a little break, but we're planning on coming back strong this year with a bunch of releases lined up, which I'm excited about. The first one we put out was by Pablo Arangois, who goes by Gusano, DJ Fitness, or he has a million aliases, honestly. But one from him, one from Johnny from Space, who's the person that I work at the label with.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, he's sick. It's my bro. It was just his birthday. Yeah, so a lot of music coming soon.
And any music from you coming soon, maybe?
As well, yeah.
Yeah?
Very soon.
Can you say a bit about that? Or it's secret?
I can say that in the next 2 months I'll be dropping an album. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's what I'll say. I don't want to get in trouble, you know.
Yeah. We will look forward to it.
Yeah, but very soon.
Okay, so
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any new challenge coming after that? I don't know, maybe a live act. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm dreaming about that.
I'm doing more of that. Trying to come back to Europe at the end of the year to do more live stuff that has to do with this project that's coming. So it's gonna be. I'm excited about that. Definitely.
You should come to Paris to play it.
I would love to come to Paris to play it, and I think.
I hope everyone have heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. I need to go back.
Thank you so much, Nick Leon. Do you have a little word to conclude, something for Rinse listeners that are loving you as much as I do?
Oh, well, I always appreciate the love, and I appreciate people tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
Rinse.
Et nous revoici au studio de Rinse après avoir exploré Lisbonne avec Nick Leon. Et pas n'importe où dans Lisbonne, on a exploré un endroit qui se situe entre les phares d'un camion qui nous éclairait la gueule et de l'autre côté, les poubelles du festival.
C'est vrai qu'on a failli se faire rouler dessus à un moment.
Ouais, j'ai eu très se décaler. En fait, on a eu quelques petites problématiques à trouver un bon spot pour cette interview.
Exactement.
Heureusement, Nick Leon est très sympa, n'est pas très difficile et ne m'en a pas voulu.
Oui, et puis c'est les plaisirs de festival aussi, on s'adapte aux endroits. Bon.
C'est ça.
On est tout terrain. Hein.
Tu peux faire tes interviews à côté des poubelles comme tu peux les faire au milieu des basses. En tout cas, il représentait sur cette édition le label Trax, nos amis colombiens, dont on vous parle très souvent sur cette antenne. Ils sont souvent en playlist Rinse. Moi, j'étais trop contente du coup de voir une partie de la team sur le festival, dont Nick Leon ou Bitter Babe, que vous entendiez d'ailleurs tout à l'heure dans la musique. C'était une stage qui nous a fait galoper tout l'après-midi. Ce jour-là, c'était les Days, deuxième jour de festival, et c'était trop charmé. Est-ce que tu as un petit truc à ajouter sur cette stage, Léa?
Moi, je l'ai surtout apprécié le dimanche où c'était beaucoup plus. Je sais pas, ça bounçait un peu plus, c'était un peu plus péchu, un peu plus fun.
Mais ne nous spoile pas, c'est tout à l'heure qu'on a parlé du dimanche, attention.
Oui, mais c'était pas la même stage. On a interviewé personne de cette stage-là.
On a interviewé. Si,
c'était l'autre Sónar Village.
Ah, c'était l'autre Sónar.
Effectivement. Et du coup, ça, c'était la stage où il y avait vraiment toute la plaine, où les gens ils pouvaient se poser sur les poufs et tout. Et le dimanche, j'ai trouvé ça très cool. Même si le samedi, c'était sympa, mais Ouais, énergie avec que des gens stylés, je trouve, à cet endroit. C'était trop beau. Donc, ouais, petit coup de cœur.
Et le dimanche, il y avait aussi un petit groupe français, un duo français que nous avons eu la chance
Exactement, oui.
d'interviewer. Duo assez iconique, notre prochaine rencontre du jour. Profitez-en pour les oreilles, c'est notre seule et unique interview
Ah
en
ouais,
français.
ça nous a fait du bien un peu.
Après, ça va être re du tunnel. Ah non, il y aura encore un peu de français, j'ai menti, j'ai grave menti.
Oui, mais c'est la surprise, faut pas le dire.
Surprise, on va rien dire. Mais pour l'instant, c'est The Blaze, voilà, duo à la musique électronique hyper cinématographique.
Ouais.
C'est sûr que ça vous dit quelque chose. Vous connaissez forcément leur track Territory, qui est juste absolument iconique.
Grand
Et c'est pas
classique.
celui-là qu'on va écouter, parce qu'on va un tout petit peu bouleverser vos habitudes. Mais on va écouter quelque chose quand même qui est très connu, qui s'appelle Dreamer, qui est une super chanson du groupe The Blaze, qu'on retrouve après du coup en chit-chat, puisqu'on parle du Sónar Lisboa jusqu'à 14h. Restez bien verrouillés sur Rinse.
I'm a soul that is drifting away. I was lost in space, trying to find a place with no border to face. In the night, I found my way. As a dreamer, as a dreamer, as a dreamer. Open the gate of love to make the stars glow. Open the gate of love to make the stars glow.
Rinse.
Sónar en grande terre de légende, on est toujours bien verrouillé à Lisbonne pour ce festival absolument iconique et on commence un petit peu à fatiguer, pour être très sincère, c'est le 3e jour de festival. Mais pour nous redonner un petit peu d'énergie cet après-midi, voici 2 artistes qui RPZ la France, attention, le duo que vous connaissez, j'en suis sûre, The Blaze, bientôt en DJ set au Sónar à Lisbonne. Comment ça va ?
Très bien, ça va.
Super, nous avons ton compatriote.
Ça va très bien aussi, ouais.
Est-ce que vous pouvez peut-être nous dire qui est qui pour que l'auditeur connaisse un petit peu vos voix, tout simplement ?
Moi, c'est Jonathan.
Et moi, c'est Guillaume.
Eh ben, enchanté à tous les deux, merci beaucoup de nous accorder ce temps. Est-ce que vous êtes prêts pour ce petit DJ set du coup ?
Grave, ouais, on est chaud. Ouais, on n'a pas l'habitude de jouer à cette heure-ci. Là, on joue assez tôt, à 19h. Mais je pense qu'on va peut-être avoir un petit coucher du soleil. Donc ça va être intéressant. Hein.
Mais coucher de soleil, pour le coup, je crois que vous jouez à l'intérieur. Vous.
Ah merde. Ok, bon, bah pas de coucher de soleil.
Mais ça va être super quand même. Est-ce que vous... Attends, t'entends pas.
On va demander au mec au light qui nous organise un coucher de soleil.
Je gérerai ça pour vous, ne vous en faites pas. Je me demandais, vous faites beaucoup de DJ set ou pas ? J'ai pas tant l'impression.
D'habitude, on n'en fait pas trop, mais là, comme on vient de sortir de 3 ans de tournée, comme on a pas mal défendu l'album, là, cette année, c'est beaucoup plus DJ set et je pense qu'on en fait pas mal. Là. Ça commence, ça, c'est le mois de. On est quel mois ? On est le mois d'avril, c'est le début des DJ set jusqu'à jusqu'à l'été, etc. quoi.
Ah, c'est une période genre de DJ set, genre une tournée de DJ set un peu?
Ouais, je pense qu'on peut appeler ça comme ça. Ouais. On va faire un peu pas mal de pays en mode DJ set. Ouais.
Trop bien. Vous allez aller où par exemple?
Le prochain, on est à Amsterdam. Après, on est au Mexique, mais ça, c'est un live.
Il y a la Turquie aussi, l'Amérique du Sud aussi. Il y a un peu tous les territoires. Il y a plein de territoires, on voit qu'on a déjà fait en live, et d'autres où en fait on n'a pas pu amener le live.
Ah
Et
ouais.
le fait de faire des DJ sets, ça nous permet d'aller quand même jouer là-bas. Tu vois.
Quand tu dis que vous aviez pas pu amener le live, c'est que votre setup est trop chargé, c'est que c'était pas adapté.
Parce que c'était une grosse organisation, on avait une énorme scénographie avec 5 écrans qui tournaient sur vérins suspendus, enfin tout un bordel.
Ouais.
Même juste en France, il fallait 2 semi-remorques pour transporter ça.
Sympa.
Donc c'était un beau petit bazar.
C'était en tourbus et tout du coup?
Ouais, là, la dernière, on a fait tourbus, on a fait un peu avion aussi. On arrivait, tout était déjà monté, tout ça.
Okay.
Tu vois, pareil, il fallait 20 techniciens. Enfin, c'était un beau bazar.
Je n'en attendais pas moins de vous. En même temps, j'attends tout un cinéma, une géode, tu vois, tout un truc.
La prochaine fois, ce sera peut-être une géode la prochaine fois.
Ce serait chambé, franchement.
On fait le truc de cercle aussi, la cercle Odyssée, là, qui est un peu un truc à 360.
Ouais. Ah ben on va surveiller ça, hein, attention. Et alors du coup, quand on passe sur un format DJ set, est-ce que ça vous demande de la préparation ou est-ce que c'est plutôt l'exercice un petit peu, j'ai envie de dire, chill, sans vouloir dénigrer le DJ set, mais tu vois, est-ce que pour vous c'est une partie peut-être plus pour souffler quoi?
Ouais, c'est un petit peu plus chill. Après, on prépare quand même, faut quand même chercher les tracks, faut écouter, faut les éditer aussi. Quand même, tu vois, des fois, je sais pas, tu vois, une track, elle va faire 10 minutes, mais je sais pas, c'est telle partie qui tue. Donc soit tu le fais en direct, tu vois, pendant le truc. Là, je parle par le nez. Et soit tu la prépares avant, donc ça dépend, mais ça demande c'est un peu taf en amont, bien sûr. Ouais.
C'est quand même la partie plus chill effectivement, et c'est surtout l'occasion de jouer des musiques de gens qu'on kiffe, et donc ça c'est ce qu'on bien sûr peut pas se permettre en live quand on joue. Donc c'est quand même beaucoup plus chill. On doit pas chanter, il n'y a pas la pression, tout ça, donc c'est plus cool. Ouais.
Ok, alors du coup, est-ce que vous avez peut-être, je sais pas, un ou deux mots pour définir l'énergie à laquelle on va avoir le droit cet après-midi, ou peut-être un track chacun, un banger que vous avez pu diguer pour ce DJ set très spécial?
Ouais, je dirais, si un des derniers tracks que j'ai découvert, c'est Brian Kessler, Team Closing.
Noté, on va te la piquer.
Un autre track qu'on jouait souvent en ouverture, je me rappelle jamais le nom, c'est Starship Trooper, c'est un remix de Trent Moller, et je crois que c'est qui le chanteur, c'est qui le mec à la base, un gros chanteur américain super connu.
Moi je vois tout à fait.
Ouais, tu vois. Surprise.
Ok, donc vous êtes bien prêts pour cette magnifique performance. Est-ce que Sónar, c'est la première fois? Je pense que vous avez peut-être déjà fait celui de Barcelone. On
a déjà fait celui de Lisbonne aussi.
Également, ok.
Je crois qu'on l'a fait en 2019, nous disait l'interview qu'on a fait juste avant là.
Ouais.
Ouais, c'est ça, on a déjà fait en 2019. Ouais.
Et alors quand on a fait tous ces festivals, tous ces pays, toutes ces belles dates que vous avez pu avoir, est-ce que Sónar, au milieu de tout ça, ça représente un truc en particulier ou pas forcément?
Non, on est blasé.
Se blaser.
Sónar, c'est un nom. Enfin, c'est un nom. Moi, je connaissais ce nom-là avant même qu'on fasse des concerts. C'est un truc qui est festival de musique électronique européen, je sais pas, comme les Nuits Sonores, comme tout ça qui résonne un peu au-delà des frontières. Donc Sónar, oui, c'est un nom connu et tout. Ça lui fait trop plaisir de jouer là. Après, on l'aborde comme n'importe quel autre festival. Quoi. On essaie toujours de mettre la même énergie, quoi. Mais c'est cool de jouer là.
Il n'y a pas une petite spécialité pour le Portugal, peut-être? Est-ce que c'est un pays où vous jouez souvent ou pas forcément?
Si on y joue aussi, on y a déjà joué plusieurs fois. Ouais, on a déjà vu comme 4-5 fois, ouais. Après, je pense que les pays où on joue le plus, c'est plus Mexique, Turquie, plus dans ces coins-là, mais Portugal, on a déjà vu plusieurs fois. Et on aime bien, en plus, on mange bien ici.
Ah ouais, c'est clair. Ouais, alors votre projet à tous les deux, il a commencé en votre qualité de cousin, si je ne m'abuse. Mais comment ça s'est fait? Comment on passe de la cousinade, tu vois, à faire des petits apéros ensemble entre cousins ou quoi, on va faire de la musique, on va faire tout un truc, tu vois? Quel a été le process?
Le process, j'ai l'impression que c'est fait naturellement. Effectivement, on est cousins, on a 6-7 ans de différence. Moi, je faisais une école de cinéma. Je devais réaliser un clip de fin d'études et du coup, j'ai fait appel à Guillaume qui faisait du dub à l'époque, donc rien à voir avec l'électro. On a rebossé un de ses tracks et j'ai réalisé le clip de ce track-là. Et comme on a kiffé taffer ensemble, après on est retourné en studio. On s'est dirigé vers la musique électro parce que c'était un peu plus... moi, c'est la musique que j'écoutais à l'époque et c'était un peu plus cinématographique, on va dire.
Ouais.
Donc voilà, ça s'est fait naturellement et après de fil en aiguille on a sorti Territory qui nous a fait connaître la fameuse ouais. Et tout est parti de ce moment-là, j'ai l'impression et voilà après tourner etc et tout s'en est suivi quoi.
Ouais, donc il a en fait toujours été question de musique cinématographique en fait pour vous deux. J'essaie un peu. Tu n'aimes pas mon micro, hein?
Non, mais si, si dès le début, les clips ont pris une place dès le début, quoi, avec la musique. Après, la dimension live aussi est arrivée quelques temps après, dès que Territory a marché, on a quand même commencé à faire des grosses tournées live. Mais l'image a toujours une place très importante. Ouais.
Est-ce que c'est plus facile ou est-ce que c'est plus compliqué de travailler en famille alors du coup?
En vrai, je dirais que c'est comment dire, je sais pas si c'est plus facile ou plus compliqué, mais en tout cas quand tu es en famille, il y a un truc plus facile, c'est que tu te connais, tu viens d'un environnement où tu as déjà un peu les mêmes codes, tu vois, éducatifs, tout ça, des souvenirs ensemble, toutes ces choses-là. Donc il y a ça quoi, c'est quand même comme je dis toujours, un cousin c'est un frère ami quoi, tu vois, c'est un peu entre les deux. Donc c'est un peu chelou.
Le frère qui te saoule un peu moins.
C'est ça. C'est un frère où c'est plus cool quoi, tu vois, c'est voilà quoi. Et donc des fois c'est relou, mais en vrai la meilleure partie du temps, je pense que c'est un truc plutôt assez cool, que ça facilite pas mal de choses, je pense.
Est-ce que vous avez des... tu n'as pas répondu toi à cette question.
Je pense tout le contraire, je n'ai pas envie d'en parler.
Je peux plus le voir, moi.
C'est Charles parce qu'il m'énerve. Non, je suis d'accord.
Ok, tout validé. Est-ce que vous aviez un petit peu soit des artistes, soit peut-être du coup des compositeurs de musique de cinéma, ou alors justement peut-être des réalisateurs un petit peu en tête quand vous avez commencé à faire cette musique hyper visuelle en fait?
Oui, en tant que des réalisateurs, on en avait pas mal en tête. Il y a des films qu'on kiffe pas mal. Celui qu'on cite souvent, c'est Tree of Life de Terrence Malick. Je sais pas si vous l'avez vu, mais je vous le conseille. C'est un film justement qui est très visuel, qui est très poétique. Nous, on aime beaucoup ce qui est poésie aussi. Il y a un réalisateur mexicain qui s'appelle Iñárritu, qui a fait un film qui s'appelle Amour Chienne, qui est son premier film d'ailleurs, qui est une grosse tuerie aussi. Après, il y a les réalisateurs de clips, il y a Romain Gavras, il y a Daniel Wolf, il y a tout le cinéma humaniste de manière générale, les Ken Loach, les André Arnold, tout ça. Et tu as posé la question juste pour les réalisateurs de films ou tu as posé la question aussi pour
ça peut partir en ouais, les deux en fait, du coup. Double question.
Et pour la musique, on est un peu plus large, j'ai l'impression. Il n'y avait pas un musicien en particulier qui sortait du lot. Mais on vient de backgrounds un peu différents. Guillaume vient du dub. Moi, j'écoutais beaucoup de musique classique. En ce moment, j'écoute beaucoup de musique de film. Et après, bizarrement, la musique, il n'y a pas un nom qui ressortait, tu vois, par rapport au reste, quoi.
C'est plus, on va dire que la musique, c'est un peu comme les réalisateurs dont il parlait dans le cinéma, il faut qu'il y ait de l'émotion dedans, quoi. C'est ça, c'est plus ça, mais que ce soit classique, musique électronique, tout ce que tu veux, tant qu'il y a de l'émotion, ça fait quelque chose, quoi.
Et puis avec le potentiel, si je puis dire, cinématographique énorme de la musique électronique, forcément, c'est ce qui vous inspire à faire cette musique-là, quoi.
C'est ça. Ouais.
Vous travaillez comme des personnes qui font de la musique à l'image, du coup? Comment vous fonctionnez? Est-ce que c'est la musique d'abord, les images après, en même temps? C'est peut-être pas toujours le même process, j'imagine, mais...
Non, il n'y a pas vraiment de recette précise. Souvent, c'est quand même la musique qui lead un peu le truc, tu vois. On va être en studio, on va faire une zik et ça devient un peu notre scénario. Quelle émotion on va nous procurer et tout de suite, il y a les images qui vont venir après en tête. Mais ça nous est arrivé aussi de vouloir parler d'un thème en particulier. Et du coup de développer, de discuter un peu plus du clip et après du coup de faire la zik, pas par-dessus, c'est pas la musique à l'image, mais un peu si aussi, parce que quand on fait le montage, après on peut retaffer des petites parties de la zik pour l'adapter, pour que ça fit un peu mieux avec l'image, quoi.
Ouais, que ça fasse presque un film en fait, tout simplement. Et alors avec tout ça, j'imagine que vous n'allez peut-être pas retourner en studio tout de suite, vous sortez quand même de 3 ans de tournée, c'est un petit peu long, mais est-ce qu'on peut s'attendre à de la nouvelle musique bientôt quand même, ou j'en demande trop?
Il y a quelque chose qui va sortir dans pas longtemps. On commence juste à en parler d'ailleurs. Là, on en a parlé à l'interview d'avant, on en parle là. En fait, on prépare la sortie d'un album live qui a été enregistré au Royal Albert Hall à Londres.
La classe.
Et ça devrait sortir dans pas trop longtemps. Un petit peu en retard par rapport à ce qu'on avait prévu, mais dans pas trop longtemps.
Je vais terminer par une petite phrase que vous avez dit, sur laquelle je voulais rebondir, que j'ai trouvée je ne sais plus où. Vous avez dit « Ce qui nous intéresse avant tout, c'est la vie, l'amour, la jeunesse et la folie ». Est-ce que du coup, dans vos prochains projets, ce sera toujours cette...
C'est toujours marrant de coter les gens.
C'est la petite punchline qu'on aime bien, tu vois.
Parce qu'elle est souvent ressortie.
Elle est sur Wikipédia, je crois que c'est ça.
Ouais, voilà, t'es pas allé chercher super bien. On a dit plein d'autres. Mais je suis toujours d'accord avec ça. Tu vois, c'est quoi l'amour, la vie
L'amour, la folie, la jeunesse.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Festival, quoi.
Jusqu'à la fin de ma vie, je penserai toujours ça, j'espère.
C'est marrant, je pense que c'est un truc qu'on avait dit aux genre toutes premières interviews.
Voilà.
On avait balancé ça. Ouais. C'est un peu les thématiques des clips et de ce qu'on essaye de développer de manière générale. Donc, complètement d'accord avec ce qu'on a dit, quoi.
Eh bien, je vous remercie en tout cas tous les deux.
C'était
super de nous accorder ce petit temps. On a hâte de vous voir sur scène. Je vous libère.
Merci.
Rinse.
Et c'était The Blaze en interview au Sónar pour Rinse France. Vous connaissez la suite de notre récap du Sónar Lisboa. Superbe événement. Malheureusement, à cause des autres interviews, on n'aura pas eu trop le temps d'aller voir ces chers The Blaze.
On l'a vu un peu au tout début. On a vu leur opening
on a
qui
vu
était très magique en vrai.
Et c'était les fameux moments un petit peu de course pendant les days où nous allions rencontrer un petit peu tout un tas de gens fabuleux comme un artiste portugais, Lisboète même pour être tout à fait précise, que je connaissais pas du tout de base avant cette édition du festival et qui m'a été très chaleureusement recommandé par notre cher Laurent Bassols, programmateur de Rinse, oreille très très attentive, très très curieuse, faiseur de la musique de Rinse. Bon allez, j'arrête de forcer. Mais en tout cas, du coup, on est allé voir un petit bout de son set aussi et on a fait une super interview avec lui. Et Léa, tu nous as choisi un petit morceau. Du coup, sa dernière sortie, c'est quoi?
Alors,
pour se mettre un peu dans
c'est quand même
l'ambiance.
sorti il y a 7 mois, donc c'est frais mais bien installé. Et donc c'est en featuring
très
avec
drôle comme façon de dire.
Ah, tu trouves? Ouais,
beaucoup.
ça fait son petit temps, mais ça reste quand même assez frais.
Pardon, tu disais,
et du coup, c'est avec
featuring.
Wost, donc du label Tratratrax aussi, il me semble. Et le titre, c'est Badman.
Voilà, on part sur Pedro Da Linha sur Rinse France. Restez bien verrouillés avec nous. Sónar à Lisbonne, ça touche très bientôt à sa fin. Ça s'entend à ma voix d'ailleurs, je pense que ça touche bientôt à sa fin. Elle commence un petit peu à s'affaiblir. C'est le dernier jour de fiesta aujourd'hui, les dernières heures même de fiesta. Et nous avec la team Rinse, on en profite toujours pour découvrir les artistes locaux et notamment un Lisboète DJ et producteur que j'ai trop hâte de vous présenter. Il s'appelle Pedro Da Linha. Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Have you enjoyed this set? We really enjoyed it. Thank you so
I had
much.
a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And it's always amazing to play at Sónar. So,
Yeah? How is it to play at 6 p.m. like that? Because it's a bit early.
I mean, for me, it's kind of new because I'm used to playing like the DJ sets on the clubs like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But at the same time, like being Sónar, people when they buy the ticket, they know what they're coming for.
Yeah.
So I mean the time doesn't really make much difference.
So how was the crowd? Big energy?
Yeah, I think the like being sunny out today, not like raining or being cold, really helped the mood and the environment of the people. Like
Yeah, I think there are more people today than the other days.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have the chance to come the other days, but they were telling me that it was quite full yesterday.
What were you doing? Why not here?
I really tried to be here, but I'm working on a new album, so I'm
Shame on you. Working on an album is not an excuse. Just joking.
I mean, when I'm focused, it's really hard for me to go outside.
Yeah. I can understand. We will talk about this new album a bit later. But do you think there is maybe difference between Portuguese crowd and other crowd in the world where you've been? Or is it basically the same?
I mean, being Portuguese, it's going to be unfair, but I have to say it like my favorite crowd is the Portuguese one.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of good experiences, like playing in Paris and in Lille as well.
Yes.
And my favorite for like, if I'm being honest, is like the London crowd.
The London crowd?
Yeah.
Oh
London,
yeah? Why?
I mean, I think like the people, the way people get involved with the DJ set and like the entire community and the scene really calls me. So yeah.
Okay. And how is it to play for Sónar? Such a big festival, such an institution. If I can say that.
I had the privilege. This is my third time playing Sónar in Lisbon.
You did all Lisbon edition.
Not whole. I did 3. I think there's
it was 4.
5 or 4. I'm not sure. Hopefully one day I'll play them, like for me the main one in Barcelona. But it's really special always because it's like not everyone has this chance to play at Sónar, so I really feel lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite a big festival, quite an honor, I guess, for you.
Yeah.
But because you're making Lisbon energy, you know what I mean?
I mean, I like to think that way. I like to think that I belong in the Lisbon scene. So
what do you think the fact that this festival came from Barcelona to Lisbon means about, Lisbon scene?
I think it like represents really well what we are doing in Lisbon, not just in Lisbon but in Portugal. Like Porto as well has a lot of a really nice club culture. And as you could see today, like with Noia, she's a DJ from Porto. She's really good. But I think that Sónar in Lisbon is really important because DJs like the Príncipe, guys like Leacox, usually wouldn't play like this kind of shows. And Sónar has like a really nice booking team, and they are really aware of what's happening in the scene, like in the underground scene.
Are you representing Enchufada today?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Enchufada.
Okay, in French it means branché. Did you know it? Yeah. I can tell you. I made the Google Translator. It means like plugged in.
I think it's a Spanish word, actually.
Oh, yeah, really?
I think it's a Spanish word.
So maybe I'm wrong.
I can't recall the meaning, but I'm pretty sure it's a Spanish word.
So what is your link with this label? Like, are you really part of it, or you just release music on it? I'm not sure.
No, I'm really part of it. Luckily for me, I'm really part of it. Like some years ago, a guy named Branco thought that I would be making nice music, and 10 years later, here we are. So yeah, I have to thank like almost every cool stuff that I ever made. It's because of Enchufada. So,
wow! So this is the big family.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a little love message for them now, maybe?
I always have like a love message for Enchufada and for Branco, but I'll just say thank you for everything.
Okay, so cute. If I'm right, you've always been living in Lisbon or near Lisbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how have you seen the scene evolve in the years?
Like regarding the music that's being made. I think it's amazing. It's like night and day, like the past 10 years. Like the world is looking upon us. That's really cool. Regarding the DJ side, I think personally I'm living like a really tough time for me because I'm not like the best guy doing social media, and DJs nowadays depend a lot on social media.
Yeah, what a debate, huh?
But I mean, I try to make a balance between keep releasing music and making new music. Because of the fact that I'm not like a pretty guy that likes a lot of selfies and posts a lot. So
you don't want to post TikToks every day.
I mean, if I was a cute guy, I would post TikToks. That not being the case,
your music is more than cute, and that's the most important about that.
That's the most important thing. Yeah.
What's according to you, the sound of Lisbon? Could you define it, or maybe the actors that are making it? If you see what I mean.
I mean, it's really difficult to define the sound of Lisbon because it's like a transforming sound throughout the years. But I have to say, if you go to techno, if you go to Afro House, if you go to Kuduro, if you go to Terrachinha, the importance that Buraca Som Sistema had not in the city but in the country, DJs like Marfox, like the head honchos of the labels, came from all these different places. They had like jazz projects, they had like techno projects. So and then they blended with the rhythms from the outskirts of Lisbon. So it's an always changing sound. It's not. It's really difficult for me to define what it means.
I feel like Lisbon sound is a bit like about hybrid music, you know, only hybrid stuff. Do you think too?
Yeah. I mean, the main reason is because the people that are making this were born here with influences from home, from the neighborhoods. So it's really difficult to just make Portuguese music because there, other than fado, there's no Portuguese music.
Yeah.
Everything's a blend.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And about your music, how did you came to it? First with production or DJing?
First it came to production.
Yeah. I was sure about that.
I just DJ because it's part
because
of the
you have
job.
to.
Yeah, I have to, and I have a lot of fun of doing it. But my favorite thing in the world is making music.
So is it challenging for you to do DJ sets, or now it's like routine?
Yeah, luckily now it's routine. But remember when I was starting, like being a shy guy and like anxious and stuff like that, it was really difficult for me.
How was your very first DJ set? Is it a good memory?
No, it's a fun memory. It was a terrible DJ set, but it's a fun memory.
Oh wow!
Because I had to take like a notebook with a track list, and I had a small controller and a really crappy laptop.
But you went through it.
I went through it. And when they told me I had to play another 15 minutes, I went in panic mode because I only had like 60. But it was my first DJ gig, so.
Have the public noticed about it? You know, because sometimes
no.
Public doesn't even notice what's happening behind the decks. You know.
I mean, it depends on the expression you make. So if you just keep smiling or just nodding your head, people won't know.
So you consider yourself more as a producer, to be honest?
Yeah.
So let's talk about
and other artists as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about your newest release.
The newest one in November.
And then Chufada. Yeah, which was very cool. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a few words about it?
Yeah, it was my first time making the tracks from scratch with each individual artist. So usually, and it's more comfortable for me if I make the music and then I send it over, or if I just go to, for example, Apil is from Madrid. Usually I would go to Madrid with an instrumental, and she would record over it. For this EP, it was my first time doing something from scratch. Like if me and you sit on a laptop and make music together.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I had the chance.
New challenge for you.
Yeah, because I never did that before. I mean, when I'm producing other artists, it's like the studio mode. It's the same thing. We're composing music, and the singer comes and records and stuff like that. But this time I had the luck to make it from scratch with Musão, with Lapili, with Dianca.
So cool.
With Branco as well, but Branco is like we've been doing it for 10 years, so it's fun. But yeah.
So it's family, yeah?
Yeah. It was a really nice experience.
Okay, and do you have any new music coming soon?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was trying to release an album this year.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the album like 10 minutes ago.
But I had to scratch that idea because I'm really focusing on trying to make what I do more organic and live. So I want to put DJ sets on a little bit to the side.
Live act?
Yeah, I want to do live shows.
Okay, so next year we see you at Sónar with a live act maybe?
Hopefully. I would love to do Sónar with a live act.
Any other projects or challenge coming for you, I don't know, soon?
What I usually do, it's other than my music, I just produce music for other guys. So the guy that went on stage with me today, Lucival, I'm working on his album
it was very
as
cool.
Well. I'm working on a Portuguese singer called Euclides. And then just other projects like that.
We will look forward to it. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any word for Rinse listeners that love you as much as we do?
Oh, thank you so much. Hopefully I'll make a DJ set at Rinse someday.
Okay. This is for Laurent Bassol. This is for Programmation Team. I hope you heard it. Thank you so much.
Rinse.
Et au studio de Rinse, on se demande si Laurent a entendu ce
on espère.
message. C'était Pedro Da Linha pour toi, l'un des plus grands boss de Lisbonne au cours de notre journée préférée sur le festival, les Days. Le dimanche, le closing tout simplement magnifique de ce festival. Ouais, moment préféré, moi c'était mon moment préféré.
Bah moi aussi en vrai parce que ça permet de finir sur une bonne note, puis ça se finit plus tôt, enfin c'est un format un peu plus réduit, mais c'est vrai que c'était la journée où on a pu le plus profiter des scènes extérieures qui étaient les meilleures en termes de vibe, je trouve.
Grave, je trouve aussi, je te rejoins parfaitement. C'est justement sur ces scènes extérieures qu'on a pu découvrir notre nouveau DJ Pref. C'est un Brésilien, notre dernier interviewé du jour, attention. Il a fait le set, je crois qu'il nous a fait le plus kiffer de tout le festival. C'était fun, c'était joyeux comme musique.
Baile fun.
C'était très baile fun, très bien joué Léa. Non, vraiment des bangers, du fun, de l'éclectisme. On s'est trop amusé sur ce set. Messire Musao, qu'on a envie de prononcer MU540.
Qui d'ailleurs passe aux Nuits Sonores. Donc en vrai, si vous avez l'occasion d'aller le voir, on vous le conseille à 1000%.
Le petit conseil de Lélé. En attendant, pour vous donner envie d'aller le voir, on va faire écouter un petit peu de musique venant de lui et également une petite interview du coup pour laquelle ma meilleure pote Margot Pommel, que je SO à l'occasion de cette émission, pour laquelle elle nous a aidés puisque nous ne parlons pas portugais, Musao ne parle pas anglais non plus. Donc elle a été chargée d'interpréter cette interview, ce qui fait que vous allez pouvoir l'entendre en français. Et c'est quoi le track que tu as mis juste avant?
Alors j'ai choisi du coup c'est 6:40 AM.
Il me semble que c'est...
En featuring avec je ne sais qui, mais c'est un banger.
C'est le P44 là.
Exactement.
Il me semble que c'est son dernier EP qui est sorti.
Oui, c'est ça.
C'est trop chambé, un truc qu'on a surkiffé, qu'on a écouté 6 fois dans la chambre d'hôtel.
Ouais, histoire de bien se chauffer.
Donc profitez-en bien, c'est du grand Musao sur Rinse, restez bien verrouillés.
Te fazer meu telefone, desculpa, eu sou um cara de muitos amores. Segunda-feira, Larissa, Fernanda, na terça eu só mando flores. Quarta-feira, vida, eu trombo a Letícia. Quinta-feira começa o final de semana, a vivência de cria. Passei no shopping, busquei outra de novo e as cordas de ouro maciço no peito. No pulso, meia lua, destaque dá brilho no pique do preto. Como a mina cavala do lado, mantendo a postura e o respeito. Que hoje eu vou fumar só escanto, deixar meu semblante original puto. 6:40 da manhã tem mulher balançando o peito avulso. Pus, 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 pus. 6:40 da manhã tem mulher balançando o peito avulso. Pus, 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 pus. 6:40 da manhã tem mulher balançando o peito avulso. Pus, 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 pus. 6:40 da manhã tem mulher balançando o peito avulso. Pus, 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 pus. 6:40 da manhã tem mulher balançando o peito avulso. Que ligou na madruga e falou laranjinha, vem fuder comigo, eu tô na zona sul. Vai ser no sigilo, sem correr perigo, eu te quero pretinho do cabelo azul. Só tapa forte, um pouco de carinho. Calma pretinha, vou te dar beijinho. Tá excitada, já ficou bolada com suas amigas jogando pra mim. Vem! Sequência de slap, muita putaria, vem, vem! DJ Musão que te taca a pica, vem, vem! Sequência de slap, muita putaria, vem, vem! Laranjinha te taca a DJ Musão que te taca, 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 DJ Musão que te taca, 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 DJ Musão que te taca. Tirei tua calcinha com a boca, bala nesse copo é uma experiência. Toda hora em ponto nós fode, a onda ficando mais forte. A mais, tu queria ser minha puta, mas não quer mais. Tamo da igual fofoca, tu leva e traz. No teu rosto não entrega o que você faz, o que você faz, nem que você traz. Tu queria ser minha puta, mas não quer mais. Tamo da igual fofoca, tu leva e traz. No teu rosto eu não entrego o que você faz. O que você faz, 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 o que você
Sónar à Lisbonne, c'est déjà bientôt la fin. Vous pouvez toujours l'entendre à ma voix qui commence vraiment à s'essouffler parce que je viens tout simplement de passer la dernière heure à hurler mes grands morts, à hurler mes meilleurs alléla sur le set d'un artiste brésilien que j'ai grand hâte de vous présenter. Il s'appelle Joao et exceptionnellement pour cet entretien, j'ai l'aide de Margot Pomel qui va traduire tout ça. Déjà, on va pouvoir commencer par demander comment ça s'est passé. Est-ce que l'énergie des Lisboètes était à la hauteur de tes attentes?
Olá, boa noite. A primeira questão, como foi então o seu set, como ocorreu o seu set e como foi a energia das pessoas de Lisboa? Como tu sentia a energia das Lisboetas?
Pô, eu gosto bastante de vir pra cá, pra Lisboa, tocar. Tipo, tem muita gente que me espera pra vir aqui tocar. E depois do Brasil, eu acho que é o país que mais me recepciona, assim, que mais ouve meus sons. Sempre é Portugal e Reino Unido tá depois. Mas Portugal sempre tá muito presente em todas as minhas músicas, assim. E o pessoal sempre gosta muito que eu venho. Eles ficam no Instagram me dando um salve. Falam, pô, quando você vai vir e tal. E eu fico ansioso pra vir sempre. E, tipo, a energia daqui é muito boa. Eu conheço bastante gente aqui. Tipo, eu já vim umas 4 vezes, né? 3 vezes. E sempre tô por aí pelas ruas aí, com todo mundo. Às vezes vou ali na Cova de Mora com os caras. Às vezes vou ali tenho que ir no Monsanto jogar um basquete. E já tô entendendo já como a cidade funciona, tô por aí. Eu adoro a energia daqui. Et qualquer dia, quem sabe, passer uns 6 meses, 8 meses por aí.
Donc j'adore toujours venir ici, c'est toujours un plaisir de venir ici, je suis très bien reçue. Après le Brésil, c'est le pays où je suis le mieux reçue. Quand je viens, je suis toujours très attendue. C'est déjà la 4e fois que je viens. Et je commence de plus en plus à comprendre comment ça fonctionne, etc. Et j'apprécie vraiment l'énergie des gens, etc. Voilà.
Est-ce que du coup c'est la 4e fois que tu viens pour le Sónar ou à Lisbonne plus généralement? Est-ce que le Sónar du coup c'est un festival qui représente quelque chose en particulier pour toi?
Tu estavas a dizer que é o quarto vezes que tu está cá em Lisboa. Foi pelo Sónar ou tipo é tua primeira vez aqui no Sónar? Foi para outras festas que tu vem cá ou não? E o Sónar representa uma coisa especial para ti ou não?
Nossa, pra mim, eu vi o Sónar quando teve Chemical Brothers, eu vi pela TV. Eu vi pela TV, não, pela internet. E pra mim foi absurdo, eu jamais imaginava que eu ia vir pro Sónar tocar. E tipo, quando eu recebi o convite, eu fiquei besta. Eu fiquei doido.
Donc j'ai découvert le Sónar sur internet. Et quand j'ai reçu une invitation du Sónar, j'ai été super surpris d'apprendre que j'allais me retrouver à jouer là. Et ça m'a fait super plaisir.
Alors si je ne m'abuse, tu es au milieu d'une petite tournée européenne avec quelques petites dates dans certains pays. Comment ça se passe? Par où est-ce que tu passes encore? Qu'est-ce qui te reste à faire avant de rentrer au Brésil?
Então, se não me engano, tu está no meio de turnê na Europa toda. Qual é a tua próxima destinação?
Agora a gente vai para Barcelona, também. Depois daqui. Vamos tocar lá em Barcelona e depois vamos para Londres tocar lá, que também é um público que gosta muito de mim, assim.
Ok.
Bastante.
Donc oui, tout à fait. En pleine tournée européenne. Donc après Lisbonne, je vais aller jouer à Barcelone. Et ensuite, après Barcelone, ce sera Londres. Et à Londres aussi, j'ai un public qui m'attend énormément.
Est-ce que tu peux nous donner peut-être le secret pour un set façon Musao aussi fou? Parce que je pense que nous, toute la team, on a vraiment dansé comme des malades. C'était juste incroyable. Alors c'est quoi la recette qui fait finalement tes sets aussi fous, j'ai envie de dire?
Então, a team gosta muito do set, foi incrível. Qual é o teu segredo? Qual é a receita para fazer set estilo musão?
Basicamente, ser DJ. Ler a pista. Ler a pista. As pessoas querem dançar.
Tout naturellement, juste être DJ. Les gens sont là pour danser, finalement.
Não tem muito segredo. Tipo, tocar, eu gosto de me divertir tocando. Se eu não me divertir, não vale.
Je n'ai pas vraiment de secret. Juste, je joue pour faire danser les gens. Et je pense que c'est le plus important.
T'as pas de secret, t'es peut-être juste hyper talentueux, en fait, tout simplement.
Tu não tem segredo, talvez tu é simplesmente talentuoso.
Talvez eu seja.
Talvez
Mas uma dica bem boa é não deixar a música parar. Sempre sincronizar. Eu tenho toque de sincronia, eu acho.
Un truc important quand même, jamais arrêter de jouer. C'est très important de toujours synchroniser. Et je pense que j'ai un petit peu un toc de la synchronisation.
Alors je pense que tes DJ sets sont tout aussi légendaires que tes productions. Nous, chez Rinse, on est juste super fans de tes productions, de ta musique, notamment de 4x4, 4x4, je ne sais pas comment le prononcer, mais en tout cas, ton dernier EP qu'on a écouté, je crois, 10 fois ce matin dans la chambre d'hôtel avant de venir au festival. Est-ce que tu as quelques mots à propos de cet EP? Peut-être que tu l'as composé dans un contexte particulier, que sais-je?
De manhã escutamos o teu EP e estamos muito fãs do teu EP, então é 4x4, é isso? Então, não sei se tu podes dizer uma coisa sobre o EP, ou se tu fez este EP num contexto especial, uma coisa assim.
Sim, todos os meus EPs são especiais. E todos eles estão no universo, que a gente chama de... Eu chamo de universo QI, universo quebrada inteligente. Que quebrada é quem vem da favela, sabe? E inteligente é quem vem da favela também. Então, e esse EP eu homenageio minha mãe, homenageio meus cursos que eu fiz, que eu sou técnico em edificações.
Ok.
Então, e como técnico de edificações, eu faço house e faço casa, então tem essa brincadeira. E na capa tem uma sapata. E a sapata é para fazer uma estrutura de uma casa, que é house. Entendeu?
Também.
Então tem
sim,
a resistência sólida do house, que é uma música LGBTQIAPN+. E então eu quis fazer essa retomada, dar de volta pro povo do house.
En effet, chaque EP que je fais a son univers. C'est très important pour moi que chaque EP soit différent et ait son propre univers, etc. Et donc celui-ci, j'ai essayé d'avoir vraiment des sons house et funk. Donc j'ai vraiment utilisé la funk classique des favelas, etc. Enfin les beats classiques de funk et de house. Voilà, pour réussir à combiner les deux.
En fait, moi, je t'imagine au studio presque comme un scientifique en train sans arrêt d'expérimenter, de réinventer l'hybridation, que ce soit dans tes productions ou dans tes DJ sets. Je la vois absolument partout. Est-ce que finalement, c'est pas un peu ça l'ingrédient principal de Musao?
Tô imaginando você criando música, tipo, fazer muitas experimentações, fazer hibridação entre os estilos de música, e tu acha que é uma forma de dizer que o teu estilo de música, tipo a hibridação e reinventar, experimentar, é um jeito de descrever o teu estilo de música?
Eu sou indeciso.
Je suis indécis.
É por isso, é exatamente por isso. Aí eu tento misturar as duas coisas, porque eu não sei o que eu quero.
C'est exactement ça, je suis indécis, donc je joue un petit peu entre différentes choses, puisque je ne sais pas choisir ce que j'ai envie de jouer.
Et ben, je crois que c'est peut-être ce que nous on préfère finalement, que tu ailles un petit peu dans tous les sens, que tu fasses tous ces mélanges qui nous régalent absolument. Alors merci beaucoup. Est-ce que tu as peut-être un petit mot pour conclure, pour terminer, pour les auditeurs de Rinse qui t'aiment autant que moi?
Finalmente, o que nós gostamos em sua música é tipo sim, fazer experimentação, e é isso que gostamos muito. Então, já estamos a acabar a entrevista. Talvez tu tenha uma palavra, uma última coisa a dizer para a Rinse e para a gente. Então, tem uma música que vai sair daqui a pouco, né?
Os D é o segundo single. Antes eu queria dar um salvão na Rinse. Aí, Rinse, muito obrigado, merci beaucoup, thank you. Eu amo a Rinse, sabe? Eu amo demais.
Muito
Gosto
obrigado.
muito mesmo.
Valeu.
Eu acompanho os sets há muitos anos. Muitos anos. Obrigado, Rinse. Thank you, merci beaucoup, tudo nosso. E outra.
Tamo juntos.
Tamo junto demais. Tamo junto demais. Eu gosto muito mesmo. Abraço pra todo mundo aí, toda a equipe aí, da limpeza até o presidente. Um abraço pra todo mundo.
Muito obrigada.
E então.
Merci beaucoup à toute l'équipe. C'était super. Merci à vraiment toute l'équipe des personnes qui font le nettoyage, aux personnes qui sont là à m'interviewer maintenant. On est ensemble. Merci mille fois de m'avoir reçu. Tamo junto, Cheis. Valeu. Et merci pour l'invitation. Voilà, ça m'a fait très plaisir.
Quand tu veux, on te réinvite sur Rinse France. Message à la programmation, encore une fois.
Quando tu quiseres, tu podes vir no Rinse, se quiser.
E a música que saiu agora é os D, que eu tive 243 mil plays só ontem. E ele é o segundo single que tá trazendo o nosso novo EP 2QI, que são 2 quebradas inteligentes. Está vindo aí. É isso. Esse é o recado. Acompanha a gente aí.
Donc le son qui est sorti, c'est le second single. Le deuxième son qui a eu 230 000 écoutes en moins de 24 heures, puisqu'il est sorti hier, et du coup là aujourd'hui il avait déjà autant d'écoutes, voilà, et des auditeurs de partout, même en France, etc. Voilà, et incrível.
Merci.
J'en profite quand même avant de rendre cette antenne pour remercier tous les artistes qui nous ont accordé leur temps ce week-end, c'était trop cool. Je remercie évidemment Léa avec qui j'ai vécu ma best life tout le week-end, le Sónar Lisboa avec qui ça fait toujours super plaisir de travailler, son accueil, la bouffe à Lisbonne qui avait
tout était incroyable,
formidable, tout était incroyable. On remercie évidemment aussi les équipes techniques du festival, on remercie Elsa, la big boss, voilà, avec qui on a passé aussi tout le week-end, avec qui on s'est trop amusé. On remercie Margot Pommel pour la traduction et M pour la technique de cette émission. Big bisous à tout le monde et à très bientôt.
Et merci à toi Mathilde pour ces belles interviews. Bisous.